Hey everybody, this is Master Gallon Guys again, bringing you my review of the latest episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., The Inside Man. Now, I thought this was a pretty good episode, because there's a nice arc throughout the episode. The story was nice, had its good paces. There wasn't really that much filler or dead space, and I thought the setup was pretty interesting. Now, in this episode, the world governments, which are only just kind of a handful at the moment, have made a symposium to figure out how to deal with the inhuman problem. And Talbot and the new head of the ATCU and Coulson had to work together, which was interesting since they've usually been fighting, and seeing them as allies was kind of interesting since Talbot has, how can we say, a kind of interesting manner to him. He was kind of, let's see, really disrespectful to all of like the government heads that were in that symposium before they met in that meeting. But you kind of figure out later on that it's more than meets the eye. You also see that he has a new bodyguard, which is Creole, the absorbing man, who the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had fought before since he was kind of under Hydra control. And that's a kind of through line throughout the episode, just thinking, is he actually reformed? And it's kind of cool to get at the end of the episode that he is reformed and he's working to help Talbot get his son back from Hydra, because Talbot kind of kiboshed the symposium, saying that Coulson was actually working with Hydra, and Gideon Malik's like, haha, Mustachio, doing my villainous stuff. But yet, even Gideon has his moments, because the alien creature that has taken over Ward, since they haven't really given a name for him yet, he scares Malik a lot. I mean, he's shitless dealing with him. He's like, I don't know what to do with this guy. And we got some interesting news on that front with kind of like, he somehow has some kind of control over the two Inhumans that Hydra already has. And he tasked them with giving him 5 people. And they did, and it seems that what he did with them was some form of eating them. Now granted, he didn't like go V and like dislodge his jaw and like actually eat them, but he did some kind of process that actually healed the Ward body that he was in. And that's a kind of interesting power. And he refers to himself as we, so it kind of denotes a kind of Legion-like mentality to this entity. So I'm really excited to see where that's going to be going. So as we're going throughout the rest of the episode, we've also got the Creole subline, which leads to another interesting development in that they find out that his blood can stop Terrigenesis, kind of act as a vaccine for the Inhuman process. It doesn't work on Inhumans who've already been Terrigenesis, but if you are someone who possibly has the Inhuman gene markers, you could use his blood or have something synthesized from his blood to make a vaccine. And it was interesting to see Lincoln and Daisy's reactions. Daisy's like, that's wrong to do because the government's going to misuse it, and that's a valid concern. But Lincoln's like, these people need to have a choice, because what if it's a gift that's completely bad, like May's husband, who turned into Lash and is like crazy and killing Inhumans. So it's a good interplay in that there's no really right or wrong answer, that they just have to come to terms with it. And they had a nice arc throughout the episode because they fought and then they made up with banging. Yeah. And it was interesting because they get to talk about their powers a little bit more. Lincoln has been in like these high stress situations, and he's really having to fight to keep his powers under control because he's like banging on stuff and electricity's kind of starting to spouts out, and he talks to Daisy about it. And Daisy's kind of in the Zen mode, and he's talking about it to her, and he's like, I'm in a constant state of war, trying to make sure I don't like blow up. And I really like that kind of characterization. They really went throughout the episode and got a nice, interesting climax moment for them as kind of the couple, because at first I'm like, oh god, it's going to be shoehorned, and like, oh, here's Daisy's love interest, because we kind of screwed her over with Ward. But I'm kind of warming up to the idea of that. Now, at the end of the episode, we got to see that Hunter and Bobby were going after Gideon Malik. So they're like trying to figure out where he's at because those were all the orders of Coulson. And Gideon was flying with one of the symposium people of Russia because he wants to set up an inhuman sanctuary state in Russia. And that cannot bode well because it smells of a giant trap to also feed the Grant Ward entity. So I really liked the episode because it had nice dialogue. It didn't really lag at all. There wasn't any kind of weird, oh my god, stupid moments like in one episode when Bobby used her stun things when she was wet and did it in the pool and should have got shocked. Granted, that stuff kind of slips by, but in this episode, it was pretty good writing. It didn't seem to have characters acting out in weird or strange ways or acting stupid for the sake of acting stupid. So I'm really looking forward to see where the developments go, see how Daisy and Lincoln's relationship go, how the rest of the team start to gel together, where this Fitz and Simmons are going to be going on more, because we got some nice developments last episode. Now, granted, this was more other character focused, but there's a lot of good through lines through this last half of the season that I'm really looking forward to. So, that's my thoughts on the episode. Tell me what you think in the comments, what you thought of the episode, like, dislike, if you agree with me, disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a nice day.